Good morning, Doc Greene here. Once again, glad to be with you this morning. It's a beautiful day in Beaumont, and it's a great day for freedom. So I'm glad to have all of you here on Freedom 1300. Want to get right into it. MSNBC, or MSDNC, let me say that correctly, is reporting that Donald Trump is threatening voters. And, of course, this is what we'd expect from Donald Trump. Well, let's face it, Cammie is not anywhere to be found. We hope that she shows up for the debate, but we don't know what that's going to be like. But Trump posted a cease and desist order. He said, I stand with many attorneys and legal scholars, and I'm now watching the sanctity of the 2024 election very closely because I know better than most that rampant cheating and skullduggery has taken place by the Democrats, and it's a disgrace to our nation. Therefore, when the votes have just started being cast, there will be the closest professional scrutiny. And when I win, and of course Donald Trump's going to win, make no mistake, these people that cheated will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences so that this depravity of justice does not happen again. Wow, what a threat. He has threatened all of the voters. Well, wait a minute. No, he's not really threatening all of the voters. He's threatening the people that probably shouldn't be voting, or maybe some of those people that have voted, early and often, or more to the point, maybe some of those people that have been dead for a long time. I'm pretty sure my father never voted Democrat until he died. So you have to take all of that into consideration. But if there is an honest election, and I'm praying to God that there will be, Donald Trump is going to win this in a huge landslide. Now, why do you think I believe that? I know that a lot of you believe the last election was, well, not quite kosher, shall we say. And of course, we deserve what we're getting right now because we didn't do anything about it. I mean, we tried to. Some folks showed up on January 6th in Washington, D.C., and of course, a large portion of those have been hunted down and jailed, even though they didn't do anything except for maybe stand there and shoot some photos or post a video or two. And, well, yours truly may have posted a video or two as well, but that's why I don't have a YouTube channel anymore. But nonetheless, it's a consideration that you have to recognize. And on January the 6th, those folks showed up and demanded that there be a rejection of the vote count because it was obvious that more people had voted than were registered to vote. And anytime you have more voters than you have registered voters, at least in another day and time, that would have been an automatic disqualification. But in this particular case, it was okay. So we kind of deserve what we're getting right now, but the question is, are we going to accept it if they try to do it again? A lot of people think not, but this is a very serious problem that you have to take into consideration. And I'm asking you right now, what are you willing to do in order to preserve what we call this representative republic, representative constitutional republic? That's right, because we are based upon a constitution. Democracy, a lot of people like to say, or at least Cammie likes to say, and I call her Cammie because we're very close, you understand. But democracy is nothing more than mob rule. It's never been anything but mob rule. It can't be anything but mob rule. Democracy is two wolves and a sheep voting on what would be tasty for dinner. On the other hand, a constitutional representative republic, that's a different thing. We may democratically choose our leaders or our representatives, but the Constitution is allegedly a set of rules that controls what happens after that. And since both sides have to follow the rules, it used to not matter as much what we got for a president. Unfortunately, today, things have changed. Today, we have one side that doesn't pay any attention to the Constitution whatsoever. I'm not even sure they pay it lip service anymore. And then we've got another side that thinks the Constitution is kind of important. Not as important as it ought to be, but nonetheless, we have to look at that, and we have to make decisions about those people. So what we want to live in is a constitutional representative republic where we have a set of rules that says the government cannot tell you how to worship. They can't tell you what kind of church you can be in. They can't tell you what kind of people you can hang out with. And they certainly can't close your church on a whim in order to, quote, protect you. So that's an issue. The other thing we like about the Constitution is it says, or should say at least, that you have a right to defend yourself using the weapon of your choice. In my particular case, I'm a little older than some of you, and I like to have something to equalize the situation. You women out there, you would also like to have something that would equalize the situation. Somebody once said that God created all men equal, but Samuel Colt is the one that enforced that. So this is something that we have to consider as to where we are going at this point in time. Do we want to live in a democracy? The United States has never been a democracy. This is the lie that they've been promoting for some period of time. Or do we want to be in a representative republic? And I think the truth is we would like to be in a representative republic, because in a representative republic, you have certain guarantees. And that's what I like about the representative republic idea. Once again, Ben Franklin, when he was asked, what sort of government are you giving us, Mr. Franklin? He said, a republic, if you can keep it. Well, I'm not sure we've been able to keep it. On another note, we have to consider the upcoming Senate election. Ted Cruz said that it's a real problem because he has been named by Chuck Schumer as the #1 target in the country for the 2024 election cycle. They have spent over $100 million, that's Soros and Schumer, in this Texas Senate race. And why? To try to beat a guy like Ted Cruz, who is very popular in Texas. And Ted Cruz, a super intelligent lawyer, he is one of the few that's actually qualified to argue in front of the Supreme Court. And yet they're trying to get rid of him because he is a solid conservative when it comes to his voting record. So they want to get this Allred guy in there. And I guarantee you that Allred has proven that he will vote with Nancy Pelosi 100% of the time, because that's what he did when he was in the House of Representatives. He didn't miss a single vote. Not to mention, he's a good friend of Cammie Harris. And they want open borders. I mean, they'd like to have you believe that there are around 12 million illegal aliens in the United States, and that well, the truth is there have been about 12 million illegal aliens that have come into the United States just in the last 4 years. And that's on top of the approximately 70,000 illegal aliens that were already here, 70 million illegal aliens that were already here. So we need to do something about this, and that is to make sure that Ted Cruz becomes the president of the Senate. So, well, actually, it can't be the president of the Senate. That would be the vice president, which in this case is going to be Mr. Vance. But we need him to be the Senate leader. We need someone of Ted Cruz's stature and power to be the leader of the Senate. Wouldn't it be great to have someone like Ted Cruz the leader of the Senate? I mean, it would change a lot of things. Among the big problems that we have here and all the money that's being spent and going to illegal aliens is because we don't have any conservatives in leadership. We have not had any conservatives in leadership for as long as I've been alive. The closest we got was Newt Gingrich, and he only looked conservative because the other guys were so far to the left. But if we had someone in there in the Senate like Ted Cruz, and under a Donald Trump presidency, he would become the Senate leader, I have no doubt, this would change a lot of things, and it would make life so much better for Americans and particularly for us Texans. So, talk is cheap, guys. You got to get out there. You got to talk this thing up. You got to make things happen. It's very, very important that we do this. And I'm looking forward to seeing that happen here very shortly.
Meanwhile, video has surfaced showing a gang beating a Dallas man on the side of the road, and the Dallas police are now admitting that the Venezuelan gang Trendiaragua has infiltrated the city. In the video posted to social media, a group of men can be seen beating a man to the ground, repeatedly kicking him and smacking his head until he goes limp. Then gunshots are heard in the background. The gangs are taking over a number of American cities you probably heard about, up in Colorado, and now here in Dallas. And this is an issue. The Dallas Police Department has confirmed that they have settled in North Texas and they are committing heinous crimes. A lot of gang activity in North Dallas that are linked to them. They also have been noted to be behind a string of crimes stretching even into New York and Miami, in addition to being here in Texas. Now, it's been rumored that the gang made its presence known over a year ago. And the North Dallas police are saying they're collaborating with other agencies to address possible crimes linked to this. The group has congregated with a group of Venezuelans in the northern part of Dallas known as Villa Dallas. Since the gang's arrival, the neighborhood has become riddled with illegal street racing, beatings, shootings, and extortion attempts. Some conservatives' estimates have put the Venezuelan population at least 20,000. This is an issue. By the way, I want to thank Texas Scorecard for this information. Great source of news. TexasScorecard.com. These types of illegal aliens are coming into these cities because they can get away with it. I mean, you probably first heard about it in Aurora, Colorado, where they took over an apartment building. According to a Colorado law firm, they took over the Whispering Pines apartment in 2023, and since then they've been involved in violent assaults, murder, extortion, and child prostitution. They're operating out of Chicago. They've been linked to other weapons and arsons charges. Anyway, it's a great day to be alive. There's lots of exciting things going on. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Doc Greene, right side of the mic, signing off, Freedom 1300.